Watching icons like Eala and Joel Fonseca ignite the Filipino and Brazilian crowds is pure lightning. This is the new guard shaking up the world stage, but Eala is stepping into a total firestorm this year. She's the picture of grace, but behind the scenes, the WTA is hiding a secret that is about to blow up. The tennis world is reeling from what is coming to light, and honestly, it is a total shock to the system. Days ago, Eala plummeted from 29 to 45 after Karolina Mukova demolished her 6-love 6-2 in under an hour. That is a soul-crushing loss, but the real nightmare for the organization is what is happening in the shadows. Despite being outclassed on court, she keeps landing elite tournament spots that her actual ranking simply does not justify. From the Qatar Open to Abu Dhabi this past February, the pattern of favoritism is becoming impossible to ignore. Insiders are now blowing the whistle on a massive conflict of interest that the front office is desperately trying to bury. Major sponsors are reportedly twisting arms behind the scenes, effectively forcing her into draws to stop engagement from cratering. The data is brutal. Ratings vanish the moment she is gone, even though her grit makes her an absolute fan favorite. We are talking about rock-bottom viewership numbers that have triggered some very tense closed-door shouting matches among top executives. This rabbit hole goes deep. If you want the truth about how the tour really runs, subscribe now, because this changes everything. Let us peel back the curtain on these boardroom deals, because that is where the truth about these wildcards is hidden. Typically, tournament directors have a very tight leash on who they can handpick for their limited entry slots. These invites are supposed to go to the hottest prospects, especially when you have a billion fans watching worldwide. They are designed for legendary stars making a comeback or to keep the money flowing when a big name's ranking slips. And that commercial goldmine is exactly why Eala has been the tour's favorite charity case all 2026. Look at Abu Dhabi. Eala and Janice Tien were stuck in the qualifiers until the powers that be stepped in. They were gifted main draw spots alongside icons like Rybakina and Azarenka, all under the guise of player development. But the press release ignored the obvious. The moment Eala's name was on the ticket, the venue started overflowing. Filipino fans turned the aviation club into a madhouse, driving her all the way to a stunning quarter-final appearance. Even after Ekaterina Alexandrova ended her run, she walked away with $35,000 and 108 crucial points. That boost rocketed her to 38 in the world, magically granting her direct entry into the Qatar Open. For the first time, she did not need a handout to enter a WTA 1000, but the honeymoon did not last. She was bounced immediately by Teresa Martinkova 7-6-6-1, watching her hard-earned ranking gains evaporate instantly. Here is the kicker: without that gifted spot in Abu Dhabi, she never would have smelled the main draw in Qatar. This is no longer about tennis, it is a cold business calculation where the sport's integrity is the price. Watching a stadium transform into this electric stage is incredible, and I am pumped to see this week's drama unfold. Indian Wells 2026 just shattered records, pulling in over 527,000 fans over a 2-week span. The middle weekend was historic, with over 176,000 people flooding the gates. On TV, it was a total blowout, the highest-rated event in Tennis Channel history, up 39% from last year. Social media exploded with 225 million views and over 10 million interactions during the tournament. Eala was the catalyst, taking down Yastremska and Coco Gauff before finally falling in the round of 16. Thousands of her loyal fans were camping out at Stadium 3 6 hours before she even walked on court. Her practice sessions were mobbed, while superstars like Alcaraz and Fritz were playing to nearly empty side courts. The tournament's most watched video was not a final, it was a vlog about Eala, and the competition was not even close. Even the legend Tommy Haas could not help but notice the sheer power of the Eala movement. Seeing that massive wave of Filipino support coming in and out of the stands is nothing short of breathtaking. When asked if he had ever seen a fanbase this dedicated, Haas did not hesitate. His answer was a flat-out no. He called the vibe exactly what the professional tour needs to survive and thrive. It is a huge win for tourism and gives the players a much more stable environment to compete in. This is about tapping into new markets and energy, but there is a dark side to this commercial obsession. If Eala is not on the poster, the fans do not show up. They are not here for tennis. They are only here for her. As veteran journalist TJ Manotok pointed out, this is not a general audience. It is a personal army. The Philippines has been desperate for a successor to Pacquiao. With 10 million Filipinos abroad, including nearly 2 million in California, Eala's financial impact at any tournament is a proven reality. Corporate backers have done the math. Tournament leads see the potential, and the commercial wing of the professional circuit understands this better than anyone. The 2026 BNP Paribas Open secured 24 brand partners, a record-breaking roster for the event. Three giants made their premier debut: Fege, Lululemon, and Silver Sea. Both Yonex and Dunlop joined the supporting ranks. These corporations don't write seven-figure checks only to ignore stagnant gate numbers or plummeting social engagement without demanding answers. The reaction from sponsors when audience interaction takes a hit isn't some deep mystery. They call for urgent sit-downs, scrutinize activation data, contrast performance across different venues, and pinpoint exactly where the momentum died. You rarely hear the gritty details of those high-level discussions because they happen behind closed doors, yet the consequences are unmistakable. Which stars get the marketing push, which tour stops get extra funding, and who receives favorable court times or main draw entries is obvious to any observer. Eala's current portfolio of major supporters includes Nike, Babolat, Globe Telecom, and the Bank of the Philippine Islands. Rumors circulating through the tennis world indicate that massive new endorsement deals are being finalized as brands draw direct parallels. They see Eala's commercial rise mirroring the explosive marketing power Emma Raducanu wielded after her 2021 US Open victory. Raducanu transitioned from a total stranger to a global icon in 2 weeks. Eala's climb has been gradual, but her total market reach is arguably deeper. While Raducanu's fans are spread thin across general regions, Eala's followers are fiercely loyal, organized, and willing to fly across oceans to fill stadium seats. Broadcaster Gigi Salmon put it bluntly during a major tennis event, noting that Eala might already be the sport's biggest draw based on her following. Coco Gauff leveraged Eala's massive crowd to pack the Dubai Stadium for their February clash. A match Gauff won 6-0, 6-2 and praised the fans later. "I want to thank Alex for bringing such a vibrant new audience to tennis. Getting through today's match felt like a marathon." That specific acknowledgement from Gauff sent a loud, clear signal to every executive and sponsor sitting in the VIP boxes. Understanding why the tennis world is reeling requires looking at Eala's career timeline, where the statistical shift is almost too wild to be real. She walked into the 2025 Miami Open with a bleak 2-14 professional record. She had never even secured consecutive wins at the top level. She was ranked 140 in the world, having scraped together $498,901 over years on the developmental circuit. Her first main draw appearance in Miami was back in 2021, where she entered as a teenage wildcard and exited in the opening round. More wildcards followed, leading to early exits, and by 2025 critics were openly questioning if she actually deserved those free passes. Then she completely dismantled Jelena Ostapenko, the 2017 French Open winner. She followed that by crushing Madison Keys 6-4, 6-2, then stunned world number 2 Iga Swiatek 6-2, 7-5 in a massive upset. She matched the deepest run ever by a female wildcard in Miami, joining the ranks of legends like Justine Henin and Victoria Azarenka. Ranked 140, she was the second lowest ranked semi-finalist since 1985, trailing only Azarenka, who was ranked 186 during her comeback. Those wins rocketed her from 140 to 75 in a week. Her Miami prize money alone was significant. $332,160 accounted for 66% of her total lifetime earnings. Her climb since then has been absolute. She hit the top 50 by late 2025 and reached a career peak of 29 by March 16, 2026. The irony is biting. The player who became the poster child for wildcard success just suffered a brutal reality check at the same venue. She just endured one of the most lopsided defeats of her career at the very tournament that initially turned her into a superstar. 14th seed Karolina Muchova needed just 60 minutes to sweep Eala 6-0, 6-2. Muchova won 80% of her first serves. Eala managed only 39. In return games, Muchova dominated 64% of points. The Czech star broke Eala in the opening game and never looked back. This loss pushed Eala's record against Czech players to a winless 0-12. The ranking math paints a grim picture. Entering Miami at 29 with 1,525 points, she saw her 390-point semifinal defense replaced by a meager 120. She fell to 45 in the live standings. To reclaim her top 30 spot, she needs a miracle run in Austria this April. She has never played that tournament before, meaning she has 0 points to fall back on and everything to gain. This is where the wildcard debate gets heated again. If her rank slides during the clay season, directors will face a difficult commercial choice. The official rankings suggest she should sit out, yet the hard engagement data points toward a different conclusion. Between television ratings and her 960,000 Instagram followers, nearly double her higher-ranked peers, the money says she belongs on court. The tour never publicly admits that dollar signs influence who gets a wildcard invitation. They use scripted phrases about supporting new talent, national growth, and tournament discretion to justify their picks. But the pattern of who gets these golden tickets and exactly when they get them reveals a truth that press releases can't hide. The tennis community isn't shocked because of a new rule. They are stunned because the secret mechanics of the business are finally being exposed. At the center is a player so captivating that critics struggle to condemn the process even when the favoritism feels impossible to ignore. Eala never looked for a handout. Since 13, she's been grinding at the Nadal Academy, turning every single wildcard into a statement. Entering Miami 2025 with a 2-14 record and exiting as a semi-finalist after crushing 3 major champs proves she belongs. But tennis isn't just played on court. It lives in boardrooms, broadcast deals, and corporate sponsor reviews. In those high-stakes rooms, Eala's name carries a gravity that rankings simply can't measure. If you want tennis coverage without the corporate filter, subscribe now. We're just getting started with the real stories. Tell us your take. Does commercial interest help the sport, or is it killing the competitive spirit? We're reading every comment.